I'm going to be creating a stop motion animation, and I need to create my characters out of toilet paper rolls. The most important thing is that you're not going to do any cutting on the bottom of the roll at all, because if you do, your characters will not stand up, and for this assignment, they need to stand up. So we're going to create two characters that are enemies, and in this case, I'm making a bunny rabbit and a fox because they're enemies, because foxes eat bunny rabbits. I drew my character, I'm cutting it out, and now I'm going to draw my fox. Around the back of the fox's puppet, I'm going to draw grass so that I know not to accidentally mess up and cut the bottom. I'm going to cut out the fox, and when I'm done, he will stand up by himself, which you will see in a minute. So I'm cutting out the fox. I just cut out all the extra cardboard from the top and leave the bottom alone so that the toilet paper tube can still stand by itself. So when I'm finished with that, I'll show you how it looks. Just be very careful not to accidentally cut any of the parts you need out. And there they go. There's the fox. There's the bunny rabbit. Now I've got to make the backdrop. The way that I'm measuring, I'm not using a ruler. I'm just taking, you can use drawing paper or photocopy paper, and you sort of press it against the cardboard so you know where to cut. So once I have the back and sides of my little backdrop, think of like a theater, I'm going to draw my background. Keep the background nice and simple because you want people to focus on the characters and not get distracted by the backdrop. So I'm just making some trees and grass, a little landscape, just so that I know that they're outdoors. It'll create the setting without distracting from the characters. And keep in mind things like overlapping, foreground, middle ground, background. Try and match the back of the set with the side of the set, and then fill that in. Use overlapping. Notice how I'm making some things near and far. I'm making some hills. I'm making a little bit of a horizon. I'm making the trees farther away. Just the basics that you remember from Foundations of Art. And make sure the three sides match. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some double stick tape that I happen to have. You could use glue, but if you use glue, don't use too much. You don't want the paper to warp. I happen to have some double stick tape, so I'm using that. The cardboard that I'm using for my little backdrop is just from a box that I got from Amazon. Most of us are getting some sort of deliveries where we're getting cardboard boxes in our home. So it shouldn't be a big deal to get a hold of some cardboard. If you're not getting deliveries, most supermarkets have leftover cardboard boxes, and they'll usually be very happy to give them to you for free. So I'm peeling off my double stick tape, and I'm matching up my backdrop, make sure that it's flush with the bottom, and then I'm going to start animating. So the way that I hold up my phone so that I can create my stop motion animation is I'm using balled up socks, and I'm using a hair tie. And that keeps the phone from falling over. And I'm going to show you what it looks like through the camera eye of the phone. I'm using an app, a free app called Stop Motion. And I'm setting up my phone so that I can see the backdrop and the characters without seeing anything extra that'll destroy the illusion. And you can either take one photo at a time while moving the characters a little bit and then another photo, or you can go directly to the Stop Motion app, which is what I suggest you do. It's much easier to create the animation right in the app. So here I am in the Stop Motion app. I take a picture, and you're going to see what happens when I move the characters slightly. You get that weird ghost image. That's called onion skinning, and it lets you know where the character was, so that you know how to intelligently move them so that the animation makes sense. It just gives you a ghost image of the previous frame. So I'm taking all these frames, and you're going to need, I would say, about 24 frames at the minimum, and that's for like 2 seconds of animation. But try and create a story about two characters, and the characters are enemies, and what one character does to the other. Think of things like Tom and Jerry. Think about the Roadrunner, things like that. But you're going to have to make up your own characters. You are not permitted to use copyright protected characters that are already popular. You have to create your own. So I'm now going back, and you can see all the little animations in the app. Not done yet. Okay, so hit done, and then you can see the animations. You see where it says My Stop Motion Movie. You're going to go to the upper right-hand corner where it says Select. You're going to select the movie, and then unfortunately I have to take the hair tie off because I can't really see what's going on. The control I need is actually in back of the hair tie, so whoops. It took me a second to figure that out. Make sure that your animation, my animation was only 7 frames long. Yours has to be longer than that. I would say at least 24 frames will give you 2 seconds of animation, and you're going to need a little more than that. So this is me messing around trying to figure out what the heck I did wrong. Okay, now select. Come on, Rachel. You can do this. Come on, Mrs. Winterberg. All right. Let me take the hair tie off since I'm ready to export anyway. All right. So, select. Come on. All right. Now, My Stop Motion Movie. Select. Now, the up arrow. Click on that. Come on. You can figure it out. Okay. Export movie. And then at the bottom, you just sort of scroll up till you find Save Video, and that puts it in your camera roll, and from there you'll be able to find it in your camera roll, and then you turn it into Google Classroom.